We love Laura Branigan.
Not big fans of Kathy, though.
Could take or leave Kathy.
Brunch. Hit it, boys.
Hey, we're not sure if this is going to work, but we saw it in some commercials and it got people a lot of money. Hulu has live sports.
Sure does. That's not an ad, by the way. It's just a fact, apparently. I don't know. I don't have Hulu.
We said
it would be funny if they didn't have live sports.
Hulu has live sports.
Maybe.
Hold on. Do you say it?
Hulu has live sports, allegedly.
Hulu has live sports. Do you have to be in that room with the green room and everything? Normally, I believe if you say Hulu has live sports a few times, it's
you
like
just get money.
It's like clicking your heels together, saying "There's no place like home." Hulu has live sports. Maybe Hulu doesn't.
It's my money. And I want it now.
I have a structured settlement, and Hulu has live sports. What the fuck?
Yeah, I want a refund. Are you still a Hulu guy?
Oh yeah, dude. You know one thing about me. I'm an everything guy.
Yeah, I know. Are you still a Hulu guy? Are you still a Spotify and Apple Music guy?
Spotify, Apple Music.
Wow.
Amazon Prime. Well, that's not that crazy of one.
No wonder your wife divorced you.
Hulu. Yeah. If someone were to, when people are like, here's a millennial who makes $20,000 a year and saves $8,000 a month. And it's like some ridiculous bullshit pie graph thing.
Yeah.
If they did a breakdown of like, here's a millennial who makes X amount of dollars, here's a breakdown of his spending. It would be like rent, subscription things. He can't name all of his subscription things. What else?
Your life is basically like that tweet. Have you ever seen that tweet that's like, here's my budget, and it's like $500 food, $2,000 rent, and then like $6,000 on candles per month, and it's like, I'm not good with finances. What do I fix? My family is dying. That's your life, except it's $6,000 of subscription services.
That actually probably would be it. Yeah, I'll just never cancel it. And I have the bougie one. I have the ad-free one.
I thought about switching over to Spotify because it's like 99 cents for 3 months. So I was like,
Spotify is just easier for sending stuff to people. More have it. I
don't care about that.
Yeah. In fact, I was trying to share something with someone who I knew had Apple Music, and I have Apple Music, but I haven't opened the app on my phone in so long. And I was like, I don't want to remember how to share stuff on it. So I just didn't send it to him. And now I still haven't opened up Apple Music in like 5,000 years.
Speaking of music, Carly Rae Jepsen's album came out last week, and I love it.
That is great. I feel like I'm in such a weird place with Carly Rae Jepsen. I obviously love her so much. She's just an absolute party. What's not to love? But man, Party for One, the hype, the build up to it, and then it being so lame really took some wind out of my Carly Rae Jepsen sails to the point where I haven't listened to the new Carly Rae Jepsen because I just can't get excited about it. How weird is that?
I mean, it's not that lame. It's lame in the way that like every Carly Rae Jepsen song is lame.
Yeah, I think it's like 25% cheesier, which doesn't sound like that much, but she hits the perfect kind of threshold of like good pop and super duper cheesiness. Like I can't go as far as Party for One.
But if you're totally out on this album, or like
I'm not, I'm gonna get
refusing this album, at least based on that song, you shouldn't listen to Taylor Swift's new album for like 2 years.
No, I mean just my excitement is quelled. Similarly, I love Sarah Bareilles more than anyone. She's one of my favorite artists. She's put out some of my favorite albums in her run, and her new album's kind of lame. So she's playing here. Tickets went on sale, and I didn't buy tickets to see Sarah Bareilles. I'm very much in like I can lose interest in the musical artists I love, which is very weird.
Would it make you feel any better if I said that Party for One is the last song on the album?
As far as sequencing, or it's the worst song on the album?
Sequencing. It's the dead last track.
That makes me feel so much worse.
Really?
Yeah. You're supposed to have something big at the end of an album.
Not necessarily. I
yes,
like it.
Yes, even if it's not a single, it's supposed to, the last song on the album is either a big song or it's a fan favorite. It's something that means a lot to fans. And man, like I remember the Party for One music video was dope. Had that guy in it. All you bitches looking raggedy. You know that guy?
Yep. It was a very internet video.
Yeah, well, it worked for me. I muted the video and just watched my man go get it. I think he was in a tub at one point. I love that guy. I've looked up his name twice and forgotten it immediately both times. But one of my favorite tweets ever was our friend Bruntouchable Lauren tweeted out when Patrice Bergeron returned from injury. And it was like... waking up as a Boston Bruins fan with Patrice Bergeron at full health, and it was that video of him being like, "Oh hey," like, "Oh, I see, like all you bitches out there looking jealous." It was so perfect. It was like the perfect way to describe Bruins fans, knowing that they have Patrice Bergeron.
Yeah, but the Carly Rae album, the first listen through, I wasn't totally crazy about it. It was just like, and then. Like Carly Rae Jepsen songs, the more you listen to them, the more they just bury themselves in your head.
Ear candy.
Total earworm. And there are a few songs on that album that already I'm obsessed with. Want You in My Room is just the best song on the album. It's fucking unbelievable. Such a fun, stupid, like 80s style pop song. And then Too Much is unbelievable. I think those are the two best songs on the album. And possibly Songs of the Summer. Songs of the Summer discussion.
I don't know. It's probably too late for it to be Song of the Summer.
No, man, it's only May. We're pre Labor Day.
No,
so
man,
okay.
You don't get it. Song of the Summer, and it's not my fault. It's not your fault. We're smart people. We would say a Song of the Summer can come out in July, but that's just not how it works.
Right.
Song of the Summer has to come out honestly.
Has to have established momentum.
Right. Exactly. So like we're talking legitimately. Maybe as early as February, but you're talking like April generally is the sweet spot. And that's why this one, I said it last episode, right. Old Town Road has it sewn up in spades. Speaking of which, did you see the Old Town Road music video?
I did not.
Oh my God. It's awesome. Chris Rock's in it. Lil Nas X is in it. That kid's got,
I would hope so.
That kid's got a smile for days.
Oh, I love his persona. His persona is great. Did you see him on John Mayer's Current Mood?
No. Oh, yes.
It wasn't very impressive.
Yeah, he was very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah. And, I like. Have we talked about Current Mood?
Yes. No.
Current Mood is
not on the podcast.
It's something that I'm very angry. No one had thought of before John Mayer. And then I'm happy that John Mayer is the one that thought of it. Like a Sunday night live stream that's just basically mocking a talk show. Absolutely perfect. Really funny. He's great on it. The guests range in awkwardness. They can be a little awkward. Maggie Rogers, probably like 15% awkward. Lil Nas X, 200% awkward. Halsey, 60% awkward, but when John Mayer's there, it's going to be beautiful no matter what. But I will check out the Carly Rae Jepsen album. But it's weird. Like Emotion, second it came out, it's all I cared about. I knew I wanted to learn everything about it. I absolutely loved it. And Party for One just really, really halted my momentum.
Interesting.
Speaking of musical momentum, should we hit on the stupid Gloria stuff now or do it later?
Let's just do it now. We got to mention the fact that the Bruins and Blues are meeting in the Stanley Cup final, like I saw coming, and now it's the perfect scenario for a Gloria war.
It is. We will now be able to hear both versions of Gloria on any given night. The Laura Branigan Twitter thing is really reaching new heights.
It has escalated.
And it dawned on me yesterday, it's not appropriate. It's not inappropriate to just be like, yo, she's dead, right? So that's what we're doing now. We're pointing out to Kathy, like, hey, it's super inappropriate to tweet on somebody's behalf, especially somebody who wasn't alive when Twitter came out. Like, you're speaking for someone who has absolutely no say, A, in what you're saying, but B, the fact that you're speaking for her. This is the most crooked thing in the world.
And not only speaking for her as like a high schooler.
Is that how Laura,
a petty high schooler?
Is that how Laura Branigan talked back in the day? If so, then cool. Like,
canceled.
Then Kathy is carrying on her legacy, but boy, oh boy, it just seems so inappropriate. And when you spell it out for her, like, hey, if you're really mad at us and you have these opinions that we don't know Laura Branigan would have, maybe try twitter.com/sign up and make a Kathy account.
Right. Yeah. You absolutely dunked on her earlier this week, and she came back with no response.
What was it?
When you were like, that is also my question. When she was like,
oh no, yeah. I said like, I said in all seriousness, like, not making any dead jokes, wouldn't it be more appropriate for you to be tweeting these things from your own account? And she was like, wouldn't it be more appropriate for me, the legacy manager of Laura Branigan, to tweet something from my own account? And I responded, yes, that is what I'm asking you. Like, please give me any sort of clarity as to why you feel it's appropriate to do this.
She came out of nowhere and did the whole, like, just clarifying this thing. Gloria is not
She's so
Bruins
stupid.
Song. And you and your friend Pete Blackburn could go crawl back into the hole you came from or whatever. And you responded, in all seriousness, wouldn't it be more appropriate to tweet this from your own account? And then she replied, in all seriousness, as Laura Branigan's legacy manager, why would I administrate her official social media under my name? SMH, rolly eye emoji, Kathy, other half entertainment. And then you responded, yes, that is my question.
So that's an accidental dunk because I misread that. I thought that she was coming back at me being like, are you saying, do you mean to say, like, why would I be tweeting on her behalf? And I'm like, yeah.
No, like, that's like she was coming back with like sass of her own, and then you just dunked on her by like made it a cell phone.
How does she not understand? I'm like, yo, like, that's a picture of Laura Branigan, right? Maybe she's the episode of Seinfeld when Jerry starts dating the girl who's going to play Elaine, and she's like, kiss me like you'd kiss Elaine. How did Elaine kiss? I want to be everything that Elaine is. And then she like gets it in her head that she is Elaine. I bet that if you go up to Kathy on any given day and you're like, hi, my name's DJ, what's your name? She'd be like, Laura Branigan.
Okay, Kathy.
I'm Laura Branigan.
Yes.
She has her hair like all like blown out or teased or whatever they did back in the 80s to look exactly like Laura Branigan. She thinks that she is living in Laura Branigan. And if you were to say to her, a la Jerry, I'm making a lot of Seinfeld references now, a la Jerry with Donna Chang, you're not Laura Branigan, she'd be like, well, Twitter says otherwise.
Oh my God.
This blue check mark and picture that I uploaded to this totally creepy Twitter account says otherwise.
We started this bit as like sort of a troll to Blues fans, but now it's really become about Laura Branigan's estate.
Yes, I mean it was half a troll to Blues fans, but it was initially mocking the Bruins and how lame Don't Stop Believing is, and how like, yo, if you're gonna do something lame or if you're gonna do something unoriginal, you might as well do something dope. So just like steal this Gloria thing, and this would have been dead in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
But then someone had to tag Dead Laura Branigan, and we were like, well, let's see what all this is about. And then Dead Laura Branigan responded. What a creepy thing. How is nobody... I don't know how big that office is. Maybe we can call Other Half Entertainment.
We should, and we should ask to speak to Kathy. I saw that she was doing like an appearance on like some St. Louis radio station to talk about Gloria. I was like, Kathy, what are you doing? Just sit in the shadows.
I wonder if there are only 2 people at that company and they're both dumb, which is why it's called Other Half Entertainment. Because if they had any sort of PR team or anything, they'd be like, yo, like, you got to reel us in. Although, you know what? Maybe this is like this is how Trump got elected sort of thing, where they're like, let's just make as much noise and be as ridiculous as possible, whether or not we're doing the right thing morally, and maybe Gloria will get some more hits or plays or whatever. I can't imagine they're making that much money off it. It's like streaming doesn't make you any money. It's not like is Kathy going to go on tour now? If Kathy's going to go on tour playing the hits of Laura Branigan, then maybe Other Half Entertainment is in business. Otherwise, what's this all for? Someone's just living out their dream, is acting like someone I forgot about like 1,000 years ago. Cool. Nice, Kathy.
It's unbelievable. And the Bruntouchables are basically astonished that we've gotten this much run out of the Gloria thing. And these are people that know that we love to get as much run out of dumb things as possible, and still this is probably the dumbest thing that's ever happened to the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, Family Guy is not my favorite show. It's a very funny show, but I definitely identify with their style of comedy, which is to make a joke, run it into the ground, and then run it 5 miles further into the ground. So this is actually going splendid for me. Whenever I check my mentions and it's somebody responding to somebody saying, which one? I just hit the roof. I'm so happy. The best one so far, by the way, I forget who this was to. This was to one where like the Blues fan hive was really out in full force, and a bunch of Bruntouchables started responding, which one? It was like a lot of them, and one of them had the gif of Jared from Silicon Valley all strung out, having not slept in like 3 days, going, which one? Which one?
Which one? Which one? Which one?
Great job, Bruntouchables. Keep going. And also just keep tagging Laura Branigan, because we're not doing anything bad to Laura Branigan. We're paying tribute to her. We love Laura Branigan.
Not big fans of Kathy, though.
Could take or leave Kathy.
Before we go any further, I want to talk about HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a meal kit delivery service that shops, plans, and delivers step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients so you can just cook, eat, and enjoy. It's simple. HelloFresh makes conquering the kitchen a reality with deliciously simple recipes. They do all the meal planning, shopping, and prepping for you so you can focus on a healthier you and get a happier family. If you have any interest in that, cooking is enjoyable and easy. Their fresh, pre-measured ingredients and easy to follow 6-step pictured recipe cards are delivered along with the meals in that specially insulated box. You can spend less time meal planning and grocery shopping and get to the cooking and eating, and that's the part that you love. So make delicious recipes every week. They have 3 plans to choose from: classic, veggie, and family. And you have the option to switch between them when your tastes change, so you can switch things up and keep it fresh. Enjoy fun menu features with the HelloFresh's dinner to lunch, 20-minute meals, and gourmet and one-pot wonders. So get out of the recipe rut and start cooking outside of your comfort zone, and subscribe to HelloFresh. They've sent us some meals. They're pretty delicious. They're super easy to make, even for an idiot like me. So you can't really go wrong here. For $80 off your first month of HelloFresh, go to HelloFresh.com/brunch80 and enter promo code brunch80. That's $80 off your first month of HelloFresh by going to HelloFresh.com/brunch80 with the promo code brunch80.
Okay. Well, that's the last of the Gloria talk for this episode, but certainly not the last of. I mean, I hope the series goes on a while. I think it's going to go pretty long. I'm guessing. I'm saying Bruins in 6.
That's what I said.
Whoa!
I think it could go 7 though. I wouldn't mind if it went 7 and the Bruins won at home.
I think it could too. I also think that the Bruins could lose because the Bruins haven't been at the top of their game for a lot of this postseason, and I feel like people are snoozing on that. That always happens, though. When a team makes a deep run, no one really takes stock of, hey, how well is this team playing? They're like, oh, they're here, and their momentum is probably going to carry them to a victory. And I'm like, yo, remember that time the Leafs and Blue Jackets outplayed you kind of a lot? And then you got to basically go to camp for a week.
Yeah, but doesn't that work more on the Bruins' advantage that they haven't played their best hockey and
they haven't
still
peaked
in the Stanley Cup final?
They haven't peaked. No, I mean it works to their advantage that they have they so have the best remaining team and did after the first round that even if they weren't playing their best and even if they were being outplayed, there was still a good chance they were going to win simply because their roster is better than the other teams. But not to like break it down too much or whatever, but St. Louis, man, people were sleeping on them like crazy going into the Western Conference final. I don't understand why. Like I thought the Sharks would win that series, but I also was like, yo, the Bruins better hope that the Sharks win this series because the Blues will basically do exactly what Columbus did, except they've got like Colton Parayko and Alex Pietrangelo and Ryan O'Reilly. Also, there's been a lot of buzz about the pronunciation of Alex Pietrangelo's name this postseason, and I have yet to. This is very off-brand for me. I've yet to look into which the correct one is. Is
Interesting.
Do you know what it is?
I think it's Pietrangelo.
I've always said Pietrangelo, but now people are talking about like Alex Pietrangelo, the best player whose name you're saying wrong. I don't know if people maybe
like Pietrangelo.
I think that people incorrectly or correctly are saying Peter Angelo.
That's not the correct way.
It can't be that.
It's absolutely not that.
Unless it's like a Marchand thing where people were saying it wrong for years and years and years.
You just accepted
it's fucking Pietrangelo. Okay. Yeah. I love Alex Pietrangelo, by the way. Blues very sneaky.
I love Colton Parayko.
Yeah, Blues sneaky have a lot of players that I would like start a franchise with. I love Ryan O'Reilly. He's like
I don't know if I'd start my franchise with him, but he's
but I'm saying like if you're building
player.
Absolutely. He's the new Patrice Bergeron. And then once Patrice Bergeron won a cup, they were like, this guy hasn't won a Selke yet. And we were like, yeah, no shit, you idiots. And then he won 60 Selkies in a row. So yeah, this should be a fun series full of lots of good hockey and terrible Twitter behavior from Kathy. Friggin' Kathy.
It's also going to be a playoff series full of beards, but if you're not interested in that, guess what?
What's that?
Harry's Razors here for you.
Yes.
New sponsor for the podcast, Harry's Razors. I don't have any experience with them, but you do because I can't grow facial hair.
Yeah.
But what do you love about them?
I love the way they've got you. There's a real blade about it, you know?
Right. They're very sharp company.
Let me think of how I can say this so everyone would understand. It's very sharp, like good, get you a close shave, but when you're holding it, it's not gonna like cut your hand or anything. It's got a real like area of it that where it's safe to hold. And when you put it over your face, as long as you put the sharp part on your face, then it's only your hair that's gonna get trimmed. Like we're not talking, hey, I tried to shave today, now my hands are all bloody. You're not getting that with Harry's. I promise you that.
Nice. So what would you say that your like emotion is while shaving with Harry's?
Safe.
Nice, perfect.
Safe on the hands.
I think that's exactly what they're going for. But Harry's founders were tired of paying up front for razors that were overpriced and overdesigned.
And possibly dangerous
Right.
if the blades were on the hand.
They know that a great shave doesn't come from gimmicks like vibrating heads, flex balls, or handles that look like spaceships. Those are tactics that leads brands to raise prices in decades.
We got to get Kathy on the show. Also, the founders of Harry's be like, what razors were you encountering? Spaceship razors? Man, I mean, Harry's is the best.
No wonder they were slicing faces open. You weren't buying razors. You were buying spaceships and trying to shave with them.
That was, in fact, a model spaceship to which you attached a razor, and then you sent like the remote control towards your face. And
sir, you tried to shave your face with a Millennium Falcon. They fixed that by combining a simple, clean design with quality, durable blades at a fair price. Harry's bought a world-class blade factory in Germany that's been making quality blades for over 95 years.
Now, to clarify, when you walk in, do they have like
blades
very
everywhere?
You walk into the blade factory, it's super, super high ceilings and everything, and you're like, oh, this looks like a spaceship factory.
Do you think the blade factory that they bought was for like razors, or were they making blades for other things?
I don't know. I mean, is it like like buying a barber chair where there's just like a bunch of old ones that you can go buy? Is there like an abandoned blade factory you can grab, or do they build it from the ground up? It wouldn't surprise me if with the quality of Harry's, they built it from the ground up.
You know what? The quality of Harry's is fantastic. They've received over 20,000 five-star reviews on Trustpilot and Google.
Okay, let's just get back to the bottom of it. Do you think the guys from Harry's sleep in like spaceship beds?
Yeah, definitely.
Word.
Yeah. Harry's replacement cartridges are just $2 each. That's half the price of the Gillette Fusion Pro Shield. Wow. Really coming for the throat of Gillette Fusion Pro Shield. Coming for the throat with a nice close shave. All Harry's blades come with 100% quality guarantee. So if you don't love your shave, let them know, and they'll give you a full refund and also a free spaceship.
I think I might go ahead.
Join the 10 million who have tried Harry's. Claim your trial offer by going to harrys.com/brunch. That's a $13 value trial set that comes with everything that you need for a close, comfortable shave, including weighted ergonomic handle, 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip and a trimmer blade, rich lathering shave gel, and a travel blade cover. So if you listen to the show, you can redeem that trial set at harrys.com/brunch. That's harrys.com/brunch to redeem your offer and let them know we sent you to support the show, and also ask for that free spaceship.
Coming for the throat with a nice close shave might be an episode title. That's just $1 million line.
I'm bad at these reads and like coming up with taglines on the fly, but I gotta say that was pretty good.
Yeah, and you just did that one very nonchalantly. Like it didn't seem like you just threw it in. You didn't even pause for laughter. I would have given it to you. That was really good. You know what else was really good? John Wick 3.
It was really good. I'm not ready to say that it's the best of the three.
Oh, I'm ready to say what it is of the three.
The third of the three?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's legitimately. I wanted to save that for a little later because I didn't want to be like, hey, new John Wick came out. It's the worst of them, but blah, blah, blah. I do think that I would probably rank it third. I still have to see it about 5 more times. John Wick is a very rewatchable series. You gotta, I don't know why I feel like you gotta watch it a lot because it's pretty straightforward. Someone's pissed at him or he's pissed at someone and everybody's shooting each other and it's a lot of up close shots of guns.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna go all. I have a take and I was gonna save it, but I'll go right off the top as well. It's the most self-aware franchise in Hollywood. It knows exactly what it is. It knows exactly what it does well, and it just sticks to those things. It doesn't try to reinvent the wheel or get crazy or get more ambitious with each movie. And for the most part, I think that's a good thing. We're getting exactly what we all want when we go to see John Wick.
Have people set the shot of John Wick riding down the street in New York to Old Town Road yet?
I haven't seen it, but I would not be surprised.
That was dope. He's just riding on a horse in the middle of the city, shooting people. My favorite thing about John Wick, I had a few favorite things about John Wick. One is this movie is just a whole lot of planning to change statuses. I would say that took up like 80% of the movie is shots of I don't know what it's called, but wherever whatever the high table people have, like the people on the phone, it's just a lot of shots in there of people planning to change something or someone's status. A lot of
excommunicado.
Yep, a lot of John Wick excommunicated in 20 minutes, and then just someone like filing that paperwork, and they're like, John Wick excommunicated in 10 minutes, and then someone filing that paperwork. I'm like, yo, you need to file paperwork every single time. Like, just do one thing for paperwork that says John Wick is excommunicated, and then stamp it right then. And they keep stamping all those things. It's constant shots of that, and you're like, man, okay, we get it. You don't need to do this so much. And then they do that again when they're deconsecrating the
Continental.
The Continental.
And
a lot of shots of people planning to change statuses.
A lot of chalkboard shots as well.
Yes,
big chalkboard people.
There's as much chalk and rotary telephones as there are guns and knives. Also, the knives scene, so good.
Oh my god, the first like few scenes of the movie, the opening 30 minutes of the movie is the best part of the movie, and
I would agree.
The knife scene is the peak of that movie. It is so fucking good and so fucking funny. I was laughing out loud in the theater just at the absurdity of that knife scene.
And that's like the majesty of the John Wick franchise. They show you combat in ways that you've never seen before. I've never seen a room full of people just throwing knives at each other, and not like boo 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 boo, just like what was your favorite dialogue of the movie?
Probably the 1 million times that they discussed changing the rules. It's so much rules talk in this movie.
This is a very what's the word? Shoot. I'm not coming up with the word because it's the crack of 10 in the morning. It's a very like procedural movie. A lot of, again, like just constantly letting you know that someone or something's status is being changed. A lot of negotiation of rules. It's a very good point on your part. The person from the high table, the very scary woman, who means absolute business.
What's her the adjudicator or something? Something. Some word like that.
Not a math major, okay?
Adjudicator or something.
Yeah, something. Just
she's basically a glorified lawyer. Or you know what she is?
She's scary.
You know what she should have been? She should have been one of those people that serves papers, who like gets in like disguises and things like that to trick people and then serve them papers.
Yeah, but when she serves you, you go.
Right. Yeah, but I think it would have been great if she had been like Seth Rogen's character in Pineapple Express.
Oh yeah,
she has like a trunk full of disguises.
So good.
That would have been great.
She was great. A very welcome addition to the franchise. I felt a little hoodwinked with Halle Berry. Halle Berry kind of
awesome.
She's the best. Shouts out Lena Waithe, made out with her the other night.
I know, I saw that. Good for both of them.
How did we not know that she was hosting Jimmy Kimmel Live? Was that like a last second surprise thing? I think it might have been.
I think so, yeah. I didn't
Either way, I've got to watch that episode. I'm sure it'll be the best because we're still searching for something Lena Waithe does not do perfectly. But yeah, Halle Berry not in the movie a lot, and so
doesn't serve a whole lot of purpose either.
right. And as a result, they don't really like sink their teeth into telling us much about her. She's just someone who John Wick knew at one point and is pissy towards him
Right.
and likes dogs.
It didn't really feel like she served any purpose other than the John Wick franchise being like, hey, look, we got Halle Berry.
Yeah, and that's kind of cheap and unfair. Also, shouts out to that reporter who asked that insanely insulting question of Quentin Tarantino and Margot Robbie in the name of being woke.
Yep.
Margot Robbie is an angel for answering that person's question,
and like doing it
so insulting,
and doing it in a very, very professional and
absolutely
way.
Yeah. And then the headline, I don't know Quentin Tarantino as a person from Adam. Maybe he's a dick, but Variety...
He's definitely like abrasive and sort of a dick. But that is his personality. That's his persona. That's like just sort of what he's known for. And not like a dick in the way that like, man, what a fucking asshole. It's just like this guy...
He's
that's
like
just the way that the way that he operates. Yeah, he's like a very strange artist. And his response to that question was hilarious. I reject your hypothesis, and that was it. He could have done a lot worse. And Variety came out and was like, Quentin Tarantino snaps at reporter.
No, snaps at female reporter. Right. Like made it about he was picking on this woman reporter. And look, like bad questions get asked, dumb questions get asked in press conferences all the time. But that was... I mean, it was I would say probably a more offensive question of Margot Robbie to be like, hey, your role didn't matter because you didn't speak as much. And this is a role where I haven't seen the movie, but like the Jeff Lowe's of the world and everything like came away from this movie being like, yo, Margot Robbie put on like a masterclass by like being in it as much in a character that doesn't emote a lot. And when you don't do that, like the chances are you're not really going to stand out and do a great job. And apparently she killed it. And this reporter was like, hey,
didn't notice you in the movie.
yeah. That's so, and I think that she was well-intentioned, but man, that is a mean thing. And that was just a crappy question. And again, like I don't feel bad for Quentin Tarantino at all, but him being like, yo, that's a super duper loaded question. And I don't agree with any of what you're asking is a better way of handling it than a lot of people would. And here's why I think he didn't snap at her. I've gotten the snapped at in press conference before. Here's how you know if someone snaps at somebody and is really, really like stewing over a question. They look at you the rest of the time. So like if Quentin Tarantino, like it seems like Quentin Tarantino was like, that thing you said was just wrong and I'm not touching that. If he was really, really, really pissed the whole time Margot Robbie was answering, he would have been looking at that reporter.
Yeah, or he would have like let it stew inside him a little bit and then
but like, you know what?
Yeah, you're right. And then like interrupted Margot Robbie's answer, which would have been super tough for her. I thought that he handled it just about as well as he could have. He just didn't touch it. He was like, I disagree with your question. That's all I'm saying. That's it. I'm not going to snap at you. I'm not going to make it a big thing. And then he just let her answer. So I thought that he handled it fine.
I feel bad that I feel bad that it fell on Margot Robbie to end up answering it. But again, she handled that way better than I think most of us would. Anyway, my favorite dialogue in this movie was when they're sitting in the Continental and the guy who's been hired to head the team of assassins to kill John Wick says to John, we're the same. And this is as John is reconciling with his dog who's licking his face. And John goes, we're not the same. And the guy's like, yeah, we are. He goes, no, we're not. We're not the same. It's the stupidest dialogue in the world. And it's all happening while a dog is licking one of their faces. It's like classic John Wick. So good. Also, I need to point out, Uh, Winston, you know Winston?
Is that the concierge?
I think that's his not the concierge, the manager.
Sure.
Like the guy with the gray hair. The guy that's like Mr. John, what have you done?
Oh, the Ian McShane?
Yeah, sure. That guy.
Yeah.
He is my hair goals.
He's great.
He's got wonderful hair. I think that I'm going to trim my hair a little bit and dye it gray to look like that. That is some of the best hair I've ever seen. And for a movie that has Halle Berry, for my takeaway to be like, damn, that old guy's hair, that you know that he's packing heat. Incredible. Yep. Incredible.
Overall, I would say that I was very satisfied with John Wick 3, but it is not as good as the first two. I might be comfortable saying that it's the worst of the series, but
I agree.
But also by like a somewhat small margin, and I didn't come away from it being like, damn, John Wick 3 was disappointing.
Exactly. I think that I would rank it third, but worst seems inappropriate for it because worst indicates that it was bad or disappointing. It was like on the same level as the other two, just not as good.
I thought that it came out of the gate really strong. It lost a little bit of momentum in the middle. I think that once Halle Berry entered the picture, I sort of, I don't want to say checked out, but it was just like, all right, where are we going here?
It was the most confusing of them, like the toughest to follow. I would say not by the time that Halle Berry was there, because I was still following the storyline by then. But when he got to the guy after Halle Berry, the one that made him do his
7 cuts.
No, not the 7 cuts guy, but the one that made him do a little operation on a part of his body.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, by then I was like, okay, I'll say it. I don't know who any of these people are. You know what? Some people don't even know who they are when they look in the mirror because 66% of men lose their hair by age 35. And by the time they start to notice, it's too late. They don't know who they are. Some people could call them gross, but not us because hair, you're beautiful no matter what they say. But it's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair you've lost. So think about it. How are you going to feel a year from now if it's business as usual up there? I'll tell you what, business will be worse. Do you want a bald spot to pop up or you want to do something about it? Why do guys turn to weird solutions or do nothing when they can turn to medicine and science? We got a solution. It's forhims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical grade solutions to treat hair loss. You got well-known generic equivalents to name brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. We're not talking about the gas station counter supplements. We're not talking about snake oil pills. It's prescription solutions backed by science. No waiting room, no awkward in-person doctor visits. Save hours by going to forhims.com. It's so easy. You just answer a few questions and a doctor will review and prescribe you. Products are shipped directly to your door. So order now. Our listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today. Right now, while supplies last. See website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy. Go to forhims.com/brunch. That's FORHIMS.com/brunch. Forhims.com/brunch.
Yeah. On the topic of the Halle Berry character and her role in the movie, I also thought that like their fight scene, or it wasn't even a fight scene. It was just like straight up gun shooting the entire time. There was a good mix of hand-to-hand combat and just straight up gunplay in this movie. But their scene with the shootout didn't really do much for me. Wasn't a lot going on there.
Yeah, that actually seemed like the laziest of the. I feel like Halle Berry's whole situation was they put. I think you said it earlier. Like they felt very satisfied with. Okay, we've got Halle Berry. Now let's go from there. Halle Berry's the friggin' goat, man. But like, you got to give her. Now I'm going to be the reporter that called Quentin Tarantino Satan would be correct in raising this point. Like, yo, if you're going to get Halle Berry, give her something to do.
Right. Don't waste Halle Berry.
Right, like and again, I didn't see the Margot Robbie performance, but from what everybody says, it was like this great big thing. Halle Berry, I felt they kind of wasted. So that's disappointing. But again, overall, great movie. I'm going to see it again either today if I have time, which I don't think I will, or maybe sometime this weekend. It leads me to this. Which movie are you more excited to see coming up? Aladdin or Booksmart? Both came out. We were texting about it yesterday. I didn't realize that Booksmart was out.
Booksmart for sure, 100%.
Same. I don't want to see Aladdin.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I have no interest in Aladdin.
Aladdin is the Carly Rae Jepsen album for me, except I don't know that Aladdin's going to be good.
From what I've seen, Vince Mancini, who is film drunk on Twitter, I trust him, and he has good opinions on movie. He said that it was good. I think that he said it was like a visual spectacle and it was an enjoyable movie, but it does get somewhat political. And I don't know if I want my Aladdin movie to get political.
I mean, as long as it's doing the politics I like, then cool, because I'm a baby. But yeah, that seems a little.
It seems weird.
I don't know.
For a kid's movie. I don't know.
I feel like we live in a world now, though, where, like, not to be too dramatic,
everything's
people
political.
are so dumb that, like, you have to be political and you have to remind people, like, what is right and what is wrong. And I don't think that we necessarily needed that as much in years past. But, I mean, like, Trump is president. People are legitimately banning abortions. So I think that politicizing and taking the extra opportunity to tell people, especially kids, like what is right and wrong. I'm usually like, I would normally be the last person to be like, force your message, blah, blah, but like, man, like the very easy, obvious messages are kind of falling on deaf ears these days, which is horrifying, but it's reached the point where it's not surprising. So I'm all for, you know what? If you need to make like a bubblegum commercial political, then the more the merrier, because people are friggin' stupid, man. And maybe they'll get it from a gum commercial. Maybe that'll be the one that gets through to them. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Booksmart. I don't know how it's been reviewed, but those kind of high school hijinks movies are mostly always good. And I always forget what her last name is, but Beanie, Jonah Hill's sister, is great. So I think that this is a recipe for success.
All the reviews have said that it's one of the best movies of the year, and I think it's an A24 movie.
Oh, hell yeah!
And so that's a first sign that it's going to be a hit. So I love pretty much everything that A24 does.
Hell yeah! So
last thing on John Wick, what was your favorite death scene or favorite kill?
The one that comes to mind, this definitely isn't the answer. Would be the axe one, but that was a little redundant. If
we want to talk redundant, how about the second horse kill?
Oh yeah,
the first time they did the horse kill, I was like, okay, that's like a ridiculous John Wick thing. I'm here for it. And then they have a second horse kill the guy in the exact same way, and I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Oh, that first horse kill was great though. It really,
it was a very like, oh yes, and especially like early in the movie.
Yeah,
I was there for it, and then
the movies always start with a chase, which I like.
Yeah, and this one, Boban, right out of the gate.
What I was going to say, I was going to pass on, or I was going to incorrectly say my favorite one was Boban's death, just so we could talk about Boban. Boban would be. I don't know how we didn't hit on this before the movie came out. Boban would be the worst assassin in the world. Talk about not being able to blend in. He's the biggest dude, and he's a big, clumsy idiot who seemingly sucks at being an assassin.
Yeah. Unless the job is he just stands over a crowd of people and is able to shoot down on his target in like the middle of a crowd.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's got junk martial arts. He brings nothing to the table other than his size, which, again, as an assassin, I think is a negative. And he's got that more than anybody ever has.
He got way more lines than I expected him to in this movie. He probably had like 6 or 7 lines, and
yeah.
I just expected him to be like an extra, sort of like a henchman in the
Same.
A henchman in the back. a hunchback, a henchman in the back who just like comes in and has like a quick one-on-one fight with John Wick. He gets his own scene, his own speaking lines, one-on-one. I was impressed.
He's the first one when everyone's
know.
coming at him. He's the first one, and I was like, "Oh, we're doing this already, huh? Wow! Wait! This is gonna be like a 6-minute. Oh, wow! Like Boban is as much a part of this movie as Halle Berry. Who knew?
Pretty much. Yeah, I'll say my favorite. I loved the underwater kill. That was pretty great.
That was cool.
So that's one that stands out to me.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Yeah, I can't decide whether I'm going to see that or Booksmart, but I definitely have to see it a few more times. Barry has concluded one of the best seasons of television in recent memory. I would not say the finale was A+, but it was really, really good. It has kept Fuchs in the picture, which I really thought that this season was going to be about kind of what they did with Michael Rooker's character in Walking Dead, where they're like, all right, this character sucks. Let's bring him back and give him an interesting storyline for a little bit as a way of killing him off or like pushing him off the show. That's what I thought they were going to do with Fuchs as the series went on. And no, now just Fuchs is a awesome character and Barry's enemy, which is crazy.
Yeah, and somewhat with NoHo Hank now, which is wild. The Bolivians.
Yeah, the biggest takeaway from it, and I'm stealing this from a friend, is this is where the show is really getting into Breaking Bad territory, where you've got to make up your mind on can you ever consider Barry to be a good guy or well-intentioned? I mean, not a good guy. He's a murderer. But legitimately, what he does in this episode, like, he's back to like what he was doing when he was at war, which is killing people for no reason. When he kills
just in a blackout rage.
Yeah, when he kills the Chechen guy,
the one who like
loves him.
Yes, that was devastating. When he came back and just like looked at him and was like, "Fuck, I killed this guy," and didn't even think about it. That was legitimately devastating. I felt worse about that death than any death that I saw in the season of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, man, Game of Thrones. But Arya killed the Night King, which was sick,
true, man.
Dude.
True. You're a big Arya guy, big Game of Thrones guy.
I'm telling you, I'll go as far as to say that I stan Arya.
Hell yeah, nice.
She should have been on the Queen instead, or on
You're
the
driving
throne.
the Arya fan club train,
dude. Can you just tell me this in all seriousness? How does it end up being Bran? I didn't think it was going to be Bran.
Yeah, that was. In all seriousness, you want me to tell you? I
am
furious.
My opinion is that it shouldn't have been Bran, dude.
I agree with you, man.
You do?
Got to agree with you.
Thanks. It's a solid take on my part.
Yes, exactly.
Why not make it, dude? Like, honestly, I saw that and I was like, anyone but Bran. I was like, this isn't even a good twist. Make it. You know who I would make it?
Arya.
I would. You took the words right out of my mouth. I would make it Arya. Can't make it the Night King. He got killed by Arya in the Battle of Winterfell, and all that build up to that battle. A lot of build up to battles, it seems, happens in Game of Thrones, huh? Every reaction I ever seen from Game of Thrones people on Twitter is like, after all that build up to that battle was underwhelming. Well, can't wait till next week because it seems like there's going to be a crazy battle. I'm like, yo, man, are you not seeing this? Like, you're falling into, like, history's repeating itself. You're developing habits.
Yeah, it's you're not wrong. For somebody who doesn't watch the show, I'm impressed with how on the nose you are with Game of Thrones takes.
It's, I don't know. I've been exposed to quite a bit of it.
But if we're going to talk about not delivering, we did mention the fact that Barry keeps building up to these cliffhangers and then not delivering on them, and they did that again.
They did it again.
Fuchs and what's it? Cusino. And are we approaching the territory where we're like, hey, shit or get off the pot?
At some point, it's going to get old. It hasn't gotten old yet, but people are now pointing it out. Randy pointed it out recently that it's going to get old. I think that maybe for him, he's starting to get a little restless with it. But it stinks. The only solution is someone's got to die. Fuchs or Cousineau has to die.
Right. And the thing is, they didn't really introduce any strong new characters, or at least like really strong new characters this season. So if you kill somebody off, you didn't give yourself that leverage.
Yeah, and the acting thing took a step back this episode. Sally, I think, might end up racking up a higher body count than Barry by the end of next season. So who knows if there will be an acting class or Sally. I can talk forever about her penultimate episode. So great. But as a person, I am worried about Sally. She's might be
just the worst, man.
That's why she's the best. That's why she's such a good character. Is Silicon Valley coming back soon, you think?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything. I do think that it was included in HBO's little, hey, don't forget all about these shows now that Game of Thrones is over, like before the final episode of Game of Thrones. They just put together like a 90-minute movie of like, hey, we also have other stuff. Please don't cancel your subscription. It was in that, so.
Well, on a Carly Rae Jepsen level anticipation heat check, how much do you even care about Silicon Valley at this point?
Probably an all-time low.
Same. I could legitimately see Silicon Valley coming back and me not catching it for a couple days, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not out on it by any means, but I definitely recognize that it hasn't been that great, or at least wasn't that great last season, and
really dropped off.
And I think that it's by far the worst of two Alec Berg shows, and I just think that a lot of what's going on in Silicon Valley is tired at this point.
Yeah, but I don't know. Shit, man. The Shy is gonna wrap up one of these weeks, I would imagine. So I'm gonna need a show to watch, and I guess I could. Oh, Dead to Me. People say to watch that.
Halfway through it, it's very, very good. Christina Applegate's amazing. Linda Cardellini. It's a tour de force and Linda Cardellini looking worried, which we love.
Hell yes. I'm gonna watch that. I started to watch the Lonely Island thing where they rap about being Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco, and I fell asleep. So that's my recommendation for that.